everybody. So, how did you like the abstract painting? I do want to touch up on what it's about, and I also have a lot of, uh, a lot on my mind about that, and how it just applies to so many people. Initially, the song was called "Alone in All Surroundings," and that's still up on my personal channel. And I also did a video explaining that song. But I mean, it's basically that song with but just not as direct, I gotta say. And I do want to, and to be honest, it's just sad how a lot of people who suffer through disabilities like me just are very overlooked and just heavily disregarded. They are alone in many cases because their mentality is complex, and they're always asking, "Oh, why can't you get? Why can't you get this? Why don't you do these things?" It's like, you can't. They can't. I mean, I suffer a lot through epilepsy, and I've had accidents. And when I mean accidents, I mean I've had seizures that have literally opened the back of my skull and then bruised the front of my brain, the frontal lobe, and it was bleeding a lot. And that's kind of where lava inside the front, outside the back, where there's a crack. And that's that's basically what I'm trying to say. And people just freak out and they just don't want to deal with it. But it's not just the physical aspects of what that song was about. It was also about the social aspects. And even if you don't suffer through epilepsy or whatever, there are so many people who suffer through schizophrenia, body dysmorphia, autism. I suffer a little bit through that. Bipolar, so many things. And all we get is just people just like passing by and don't know how to deal with anybody like that. And I don't know if it has to deal with they don't know how to or they just don't want to. It could be a combination of both. But for someone who suffers through disabilities and it limits their lives to the point where they can't live a normal life, it is devastating to that person. Especially when the disability is very invisible. It's like, on the surface they look fine, they look functional. I mean, do I look like I have any disabilities, or do I look anything? There's anything wrong with me? If you look at it on the surface, I mean, on average, I would imagine, and please leave in the comments section, I would imagine you would say no. But there have been some people that I've encountered, and there was even Joy. Once upon a time was Joy Sparkle BS, and I saw that on one of her. I think it's Joy Sparkle Sunshine now, which I don't know. I don't know what she's up to, but she did make a video called "Back at the Hospital," and I just saw someone who was completely misunderstood and had like no help because of her health issues. And it's like, do you know what? People, that is arguably the most overlooked thing in our society today. Um, Whether you have a social disabilities or physical disabilities or occupational disabilities or even mental disabilities, I just nobody seems to want to like care to understand that or care to understand you, and it actually leaves a huge life of loneliness, and it complicates things. It complicates not just the person but the people around them, and just I mean, it's like exactly like abstract painting. Like what when you see an abstract painting, what do you think of it? You don't think much. It looks like it's just a bunch of shapes and colors mashed together. Not recognizing the symbolism or trying to understand the message behind it. And you know what? That's how a lot of people with invisible disabilities go through. People who have autism, people who have bipolar disorder, people who have so many other things. Um, Nobody knows how to help them, or just like some others just don't know. It's not that they don't know how; it's just that they don't even want to. They don't care to understand people like me. They don't care to understand people like who I'm explaining to, and so or not explaining to, but explaining about in the song. Like what me like leave me in the comment if you have a story. If because I really want to know how your disabilities, if you have any, have led your social life. I know a lot of people, just like isolation seems to be encouraged just because you're different. I mean, are you though? Just because you think differently or see the world a different way doesn't mean that you're different. I mean, like, in plus, I don't think that just like everybody is abstract in their own way. Everyone is complicated. Everybody cannot uh, see what is legitimately going on but that's because so many people, like such as myself, just know that nobody wants to understand. It's just too much for them, and they're just like saying, "Ah, you know what? You're just overreacting. Oh no, you're just this. Oh no, you're just that. Oh no, you're lying. Oh no, you that. Oh well, I forget things all the time." It's like they are just so passive and think that they and think that they know better just because they don't have the disabilities. And how often has the phrase mental illness been spread around and used as a scapegoat for violence? Oh, this violent shooter, this crazy shooter, he had a mental illness. This these other people, they have mental illnesses. If you freaking, they had Asperger's, they had this, they had these other disabilities. If you freaking, and this is why I don't like the mainstream media all that much. It's they just okay. So it's the illness, right? How about instead of blaming and saying, "Oh, the reason why they're this is because they're mentally ill." Okay, their mental illness plays a factor. However, a lot of these people want attention and want sort of credibility. And I'm not talking about the drama attention, okay? They need somebody who's willing to try to understand, okay, what is going on here. Not all of them, of course. I don't speak for everybody. But there are plenty of people who do that. They just want to be understood. They want to be heard out. They want people to take a chance at them, whether if it's romantically or just an ear to talk to. And they don't want to be just like thrown in and say, hey, you know what? Oh, well, whatever. We'll just give you these medications and then you'll be fine. That is not how it all works in many cases. People just need to be understood more. And I honestly think that if we were capable of listening and not just focusing in on what our personal problems, I can't, not just our personal problems, but or just like the problems that the media tells are the most important. Come on, they're not. They're important. But are they helping our society? Are they helping you become a better person? Are they just saying our cause and our problems are more important than yours? It's the latter for the most part. And when was the last time you heard like these actions being called for, there being a call for an understanding for people who suffer through disabilities? Learning, whether if it's learning or social or any sort of ways. You don't. I mean, no one seems to nobody seems to want to even listen. But do you know what? This is what Moldavite and our band is about. Believe it or not, all of our members, at least our recent ones, as of filming this video, we suffer through disabilities. Some of them are more obvious than others, but do people care? Do people try to even understand? I mean, heck, like there are people who say, hey, like why don't you do this? Why don't you do that? It's like, I can't. You don't think I want to? I can't. And this is the thing here. I suffered through seizures my entire life, and thankfully I haven't had one since 2014. But all these years, it was all about healing and developing. And by the time I was finally healed, I didn't have it, not healed, but I recovered. I mean, I didn't have the money to buy anything. There's so many people who suffer through disabilities like mine and even worse, who can't work, who can't do the things that they used to do, or the things that they want to do, or be with the people that they want to be with, or it's just, it complicates things. And we need to listen to people like that. And if you suffer through a disability, please chat in the comments section. I'd love to hear your story. Anyways, this needs to stop. And we need to listen a lot more. We need to take these people seriously, because there are so many people who suffer through disabilities that have so many good traits. Some of the best people I've known, some of the biggest hearts, And the people who understand the world and people the most are the ones with disabilities, because people like me, we had to suffer a lot. We had to suffer through health. We had to suffer through being ostracized. We have to suffer through neglect. And that does a number on your psyche. But you know what? Well, people here have a platform. This is for that. I mean, and some of the best, not just the best people, but also the most talented people have disabilities, or were considered as disabilities. But you know what? If you feel stupid, you're not. If you feel ugly, you're not. If you feel unwanted, you're not. Maybe you're unwanted by the people around you, but do you know what? Somewhere out there, someone does want you. It's easy to lose hope. It's easy to be pessimistic. But just know that there's a voice for you, and I'm totally on board with y'all. Anyways, keep your head up, as I will, and y'all have a great one. Nice chatting with you. See you in the comments section.